their revenues. But I just want to check in with Avinash about this, because this kind of hit on the steel sector, this weak demand that Piyush is pointing towards, there are higher costs that are involved over here as well. It is going to have a bearing on the automotive sector, or the inputting bits into various industries, and least of which would be the auto pack. That's going to have a telltale effect. It could snowball into something much larger. Do you see that? And if you can, then how do you kind of hedge your risks here?
No, I think clearly, Vikram, this news is negative for most of the frontline steel manufacturers, and obviously for most of the ancillary steel consumers, that is automotive companies and most of the auto component players which have a direct and a large exposure on the European markets. I think the first names to be hit would be large players like Motherson Sumi, Bharat Forge, or typically frontline players like Tata Steel and SAIL. I would believe that investors should obviously take a cue as to focusing their investments largely on domestic driven stories. Our sense is that in the next 3 to 6 months, Indian markets are going to reward sectors which are more domestic focused, and where possibly the domestic headwinds could possibly give a better risk reward. So I think in that perspective, something like construction, capital goods, I think these would be sectors which are definitely bound to give a better risk reward compared to sectors which are directly export oriented and have a large exposure on the European markets.